Morocco. And the first thing I noticed were the souks. The medinas, the shops, the markets, whatever you want to call them. Just endless amounts of stuff. Stuff that you don't need and stuff that you can't carry. And talk about a farmer's market. Every day people come out with their fruits, their vegetables, their meats, all locally, organically sourced products that you'd be lucky to find on a Saturday morning in California. So if you're fresh off the plane and you're looking for a good first impression about what the Moroccan people and their community is all about, there's really no better stop than a souk or a marketplace. It's no easy task to get out to the Sahara. From Marrakesh, I rented a car and drove 8 hours southeast, over the Atlas Mountains and down through the valley. The last stop on the paved road is a town called Mahmid. From there, you have to hire a guide to take you 2 hours into the dunes. Our camp was situated in an area of the desert named Urj Shikaga, a lush green valley butting up against giant sand mountains. It was January, which meant the area had just received all of the rainfall it would get for the year, and you could tell the animals were pretty happy about it. There were wild and tamed camels everywhere. While their primary concern was grazing, I was able to observe these strange animals from close distances. I kept thinking to myself, what a weird fucking animal. I mean, honestly, its back's all fucked up, its legs go the wrong way, its neck does a U-turn, and they have these 2 huge humps to store all of its milk. This shit's wild, man. Looking around, there was evidence of life everywhere. And though, somehow, my camp didn't have Wi-Fi, I managed to occupy my time by exploring their habitat. My friend and local Garment District regular, Manchili Yusuf, or Chili as I called him, showed me around the place and introduced me to his camels. Soon it was time to explore the real reason I had come so far. The Sahara Desert, approximately the size of the United States and the largest hot desert in the world. Me, I came here for one reason and one reason only. To shred. The second reason I had come so far was to take some great pictures, and I took my time here seriously. Night falls quickly in the desert, and soon the silhouette of dunes gives way to one of the greatest light shows on Earth. After Chile's indie rock band electrified us with an amazing performance, it was time to move on. Our first stop was an abandoned town by the name of Ait Ben Adu. It turns out the town was less abandoned than I had originally thought, as I soon walked in on a family eating lunch. The father jumped up and screamed at me, what I later translated into, "Get out, white devil." As an act of contrition, I even offered to wed his daughter, but it only seemed to infuriate him further. I begged the man 1,000 apologies and left the household having brought shame on my family for several generations. As the man and his friends formed a local militia, I hopped on a bus to our next destination, Chefchaouen, the Blue Pearl. I'm always fascinated with entire towns that say, hey, fuck it, let's just paint the town something crazy. This place was truly beautiful, though, and a photographer's dream. Honestly, though, it's a town like any other. Except it's blue. You get it? Touristy shit, man. I did it for the gram. What can you say about Malta that hasn't already been said about your grandma? It's old, it smells gross, but you love it to death. The whole time I spent here, I felt like a character from Game of Thrones. And if I had to choose, it'd probably be Jaime Lancaster. I mean, that hair. I can go on and on about that hair. It's just too good. The northernmost island in the archipelago is Gozo, or Archipelagozo if you will, a rural escape from the seemingly endless castle island to the south. In the presence of pure natural beauty, I knew it was important to get some shots of me looking hell of introspective and shit, so everybody knew how deep I was. A tip to anybody traveling to Malta. If you're going to drive here, be warned. This country is nuts. The steering wheel's on the right, you drive on the left, and streets are only 2 meters wide, and they service both directions of traffic. I mean, I've driven in a lot of places, but this country takes the cake. Why come to Latvia in the middle of winter, you say? Well, the bobsled, of course.
Chance for humanity's landing on who the next up. Hope we handle the mammal enough to work from the neck up. Those who handling damage control like this is Yo. So to the ends and even we wonder when bit if this don't go right. And assholes like myself proving so
I mean, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? Tattoo? Skydiving? They're all fair answers. But for me, there was a new sheriff in town. After tipping my boy Vasily a good amount for not killing me, it was time to take a train down south to a place a little more warm, Ukraine.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and...
Chernobyl, the site of the 1986 nuclear disaster, has since laid waste to nearby towns, leaving behind what seems to be a warning from the past. It was hard to convey through my photographs how desperately quiet and cold this place was. I had to run from the safety of my guide's van into these parts of the abandoned town and retreat again back in 5 minutes or less for fear of frostbite. Everything about this place on Earth was unwelcomed, and if death had a mailing address, its letters would be sent here. I think it's important to note here, if you're not creeped out already, that when I got to this amusement park, these swings were already in motion. And I can't stress enough how little wind there was. Before heading home, I needed to quarantine myself on the island of Cyprus, located just beneath Turkey in the Mediterranean Sea. Any good vacation has balance. I can find just as much joy in sitting on a beach than I can hiking up a mountain. So I figure, why not do both? Whether it's in the dunes of the Sahara, the ice chutes of Latvia, or one poor family's interrupted lunch, there's something for all of us out there in the cosmos.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control.